Okay, so we are working on crochet earrings here today, and yeah, they keep doing the same stuff over and over again. Okay, so we're just going to make some crochet earrings here. I'm going to work a chain. Maybe I should do the magic loop. Let's do that instead. Let's wrap the yarn around like this, and I am going to work, should I do 12 or 6? I think I'm gonna, okay, let's start off with 6 and see what we get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 is gonna be good to start this off with like that. Okay, then I'm gonna work 2 single crochet in each stitch around. Okay, I'm gonna pop this up here just to see if I get any let's see. Okay, there it is. Okay, I wasn't seeing my feet here. Let's see. Okay, let me pause this. Okay, so I've got you guys up here in case anyone pops on, wants a shout out or something. Now I'm going to work 2 single crochet in each stitch around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, and so that has, now what I've shown here at the beginning is how to make the magic loop, which we did at the beginning, how to put 6 single crochet, which was round 1, and then how to increase, which was round 2, for 12 single crochet. Now we're going to be working, I'm going to go ahead and attach this through here with a slip stitch so that it's even there. So what I want to do, oh, let's see, how do I want to do this? Make a chain of, how about 8? And let's start off and see how 8 works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I'm going to work, okay, let's work a slip stitch down here just for the tip nub, and then I'm going to work a single crochet, another single crochet, and then a half double crochet like this, and then a half double crochet, and then, oh, that works, double crochet, and a double crochet just like this. Okay, that worked. Okay, so I'm going to skip this stitch and work a slip stitch in the next stitch just like that. So we've got, this is going to be kind of a skinny star stitch here. It's going to be good sized earrings too if you turn it into earrings, you know, or it can just be a star for whatever reason you need it to be a star. And so I'm going to work a chain of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I'm going to work a slip stitch right in here like this, a slip stitch, and then a single crochet, then half double crochet like this, half double crochet, and half double crochet, and double crochet, and double crochet in the next stitch just like this. And we will skip 1 stitch and work a slip stitch in the next stitch. Oh, look what we've got. Oh, look what we've got here. I almost want to stop right now because look what, okay, I'm going to have, this just inspired me to do something else. Okay, so you know those little, it could be a long-haired jackrabbit, but I'm just thinking more of, you know, the clowns. I should stop and take a picture of it and see what AI comes up with for this, because it would make sort of a cool clown. I don't know, but what I'm going to do is go on ahead and finish it though. I always do this all the time. Okay, so I'm going to work a chain of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm going to work a slip stitch in the end like this, and then 2 single crochet, 1 in each stitch. That's 1 and 2. I'm not increasing. I'm working a half double crochet, a half double crochet in the next stitch, and then a double crochet in the next stitch like this, double crochet and double crochet, and then I'm going to skip 1 stitch and work a slip stitch in the next stitch just like this. Now I've got 3. Ooh, you know what? That looks like a clown hat too. The 3, like the Joker on this deck of cards. It absolutely does. It looks like the Joker on the deck of cards. I mean, we're dealing with Joker and clowns right now. And so, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm going to have some, I can break these out into smaller videos a little bit later on when I do my clips. Yeah, we can do clips here now. And so I can break these out into shorts and remember what I did. And even though I didn't take a picture, I could do a screenshot though. I'm pretty sure I can do a screenshot. And so that's why I like to hold things up like this. And then I can do a screenshot of my own work a little bit later on, or like that, and do a screenshot. And then I use it because I'm the one who did the work after all, right? Yeah, I did. So please remember to thumbs up the video, subscribe, and share with your friends. Hello, Elisa Lester. Hello. I am live. Absolutely, I'm live here. And so let's continue on. This is going to be a fun star. It's going to be a 6-pointed star here that we've got. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's a quick and easy star. And so what I can do later on is clips out of my video once it's settled and finished processing. It has a processing process that it has to go through that takes a little bit over 24 hours before I can actually work in my video and make the little clips. And so it's just something that YouTube has always done. It's always been that way and taken a period of time for videos to finish processing. Just like, well, actually, I was just thinking, you know, if you think back in the day when we had film and stuff like that, my goodness, it would take 2 weeks maybe for the film to get developed. You're learning how to crochet at school. Okay. That's from CT Star. CT Star. You're learning how to crochet in school. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So do you have CT Star? Do you have like a program at your school where you learn how to crochet? Are you attending college or K through 12 school? What type of school are you attending? I'm just kind of curious. Because I know at one time I used to have grade school kids that were watching me while they were in class. That was my understanding. While they were in class, they were watching me, and you know, I always questioned, like, how in the world do they do that? You know, watch. Oh, this is what I've done. You know, oh my goodness. Well, I was going to do a flower because I made a homemade bead. You go to, Woodland Charter School. Okay, so what I was going to do is, because there's another one that has a flower, it's not going to work as well with this one because the star parts on it are too long. That I might have to make another video, but I think it was with the puff stitch. And so I made a homemade bead out of paper. I made a paper bead, and so I want to make a flower. Well, it's going to be a combination, a star flower of sorts. And so I want to do that a little bit later. Maybe I'll do another live stream after I do this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Where is Woodlawn Charter? Is that like, what state is that in? You don't have to tell your exact location, but where is Woodlawn Charter School at? Is it in a big city? I've never heard of a, I mean, there's so many around the country that I would have no idea where all the charter schools are at. America's Grant Pass. I've never heard of the America's Grant Pass. Well, I mean, I can speculate on what that is. You know, where there's grant money given for these charter schools. And I mean, I would think there would be teachers that would know how to teach you this stuff at your school. That's what I would think, you know, instead of relying on the internet, because we're unpaid. We aren't getting paid because of everything that happened, and we've been treated so crummy on the internet. Oh, this is kind of funny too. When I look at this, it really looks like a flower. I could take advantage of the rolling here on the edges like this, and well, actually, could I put my little guy in here? I absolutely could put, oh my goodness. I could have a little bit of fun with that, just the way it is. But actually, it's supposed to be a star right here. And that completes the star. That absolutely completes the star. And what did we... Well, if I hadn't talked so much, I'd have probably gotten it done in less than 10 minutes, but I probably talked too much. It looks pretty good. Should I keep going and make a flower? I should. Maybe I should keep going and make a flower, and then I'll add this little guy on. I'll do something... I could start it the same way, and then... make it, yeah, I'm just going to rip this out is what I'm going to do. Okay, we're going to use this little guy, but what I'm going to do is rip this out. Okay, you guys can watch me rip it out, and then let's see what we come up with next. It's going to be a sort of a star in the same way, but it's going to be a little bit smaller though. So our little guy, so the face fits in there. It's going to be kind of a flower. Okay, so let's see here. 1, okay. Or should I do 3? Let's do 3, so I don't have it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we have our hook loaded up here with a lot of stitches. Okay, yarn over. Let's do 1, 2, 3. We'll do this at the end. 1, 2, 3 at the end, like that. And then 1, 2, 3, and then we'll slip stitch down here like that. Now we will do 1, 2, 3, and the same thing again. Okay, we're skipping that one. We're going to work in this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yarn over, pull through, and then 1, 2, 3, slip stitch, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch, and 1, 2, 3, slip stitch down here. Okay, you see how we've got kind of the same thing going, and now we can put this little guy in here this time. But we kind of need to give it some legs. It's going to have 5 points on it, though. It is going to be a star. It is going to be a star that has 5 legs on it. 1, 2, 3. 5 appendages on it, I guess, is what you'd call it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, this yarn is nice to work with, but it's very, very expensive, unfortunately. It's kind of like t-shirt yarn. Okay, slip stitch, 1, 2, 3, and then slip stitch, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch, 1, 2, 3, and then we'll slip stitch down here. 1, 2, 3, whoops, 3, skip a stitch, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yarn over, pull through all the loops, secure, 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch, 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch. Okay, now I could quit right here. Yeah, I could, but I don't want to. I'm not going to. We're gonna, yeah, I would have had to do it with 10, no, what I do? Yeah, I did 12. Well, I could have skipped, if I would have done, I could have skipped 2. If I would have skipped 2, I could have done it, maybe I could start over and skip 2, and then that way, because I have 12, that way I would end up with 4 instead of having 2 extra ones. If I do it like that, I could do that and then have 4 instead of 5. Maybe I should do that. Should I start over? Anyone? Oh, you have to go. Okay. Alrighty. Maybe that's what I will do. I really like this. I'm going to pull it out and start over and do 4 instead of 5. Okay. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, so yeah, we're going to start over. We're going to start over and 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2. Now I'm going to 1, 2, 3. Maybe I should add 4. Let's do 4 on here instead. Okay, so since I'm skipping 2, I need to give myself a little extra room. So 1, 2. Then I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Just like that. Okay. All right. Oh, that's okay. Do I want to have... Wait a second. Let me try something a little different. Okay. So let me take this back down to 3 instead of 4. And how I'm going to do this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Now I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, slip stitch, 1, 2, 3, and then slip stitch, just like that. Then I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, and then skip a stitch and slip stitch in the next stitch, just like that. Okay, this should work. So I'm working over 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Let's see. Did I go over too far? I went over too far, didn't I? I think that I did. I went over too far. I need to go into this stitch right here. Yeah, that stitch right there. Here. skip 1, 2. Did I skip a stitch there? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's gonna, I'm hoping this works out. I'm hoping this works out. Somehow, I can see the potential for me messing it up somehow. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and we're gonna skip a stitch and work 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yarn over, pull through all 5 loops. 1, 2, 3. Well, actually it's more loops than 5, but I did 5 passes. 1, 2, 3. I probably have closer to 10 loops on my hook. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to work a slip stitch in this next stitch. Okay, so let's see. Let me count. I need to double check and see how many I got left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, as long as I got 6 left. So halfway, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, yarn over, pull through all the loops, secure, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we're doing our 2 sets of 3. Okay, we're gonna secure 1, 2, 3, and we're gonna work a slip stitch down here just like this. 1, 2, 3, a skip, and we're working on our last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, just like this. Yarn over, pull through all the loops, secure, 1, 2, 3, and secure, 1, 2, 3, and secure, 1, 2, 3, and then a slip stitch. And so actually this worked out how I had hoped that it would. I sometimes think maybe it would have been. Okay, let me see if my hook fits in here. No, oh, maybe it will. Yeah, it did. So I can actually take this and, well, let's see what I could actually just pull it through. I don't want to make a, okay, let me do this. Okay, let's see here what I'm going to do. Do I just want to pull this on through like this? I could. That probably will work. Let's see here if that works. Or I could make a chain. Well, if I secure it like that, then it's secured on the back just like that. And then now the head, well, yeah, it could still spin, but if I wanted to turn it into, yeah, for this one I did make it big enough so it fits like that. And then I could make a hat on it. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so let's make kind of a little hat on it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll slip stitch in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll, is this going to be a big enough hat? We'll slip stitch in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll slip stitch in here. Is that going to be, I don't know if this is going to work. If I put a chain on it, or should I have done it the other way? Maybe I'll do it. Let me think. Maybe I should do it the other way. because there was the way the other one did it. Let me do it the other way. Okay, so I think what it did was they made a really, really long chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and something like that. And then what they did was, let's see here, let's see if this works. We're going to put the head back in here like this. Oh, you crochet too, Trofer bull car. Okay, I don't know if this, I don't think it's going to fit though. Nope, this is not going to fit. This is not going to fit. Or, or will it? It did. Oh my goodness. It did fit through here. Okay, so you did fit. Alrighty, then we're gonna, okay, that was a tough one, but it did. Okay, so you did fit in here like that, and we're gonna slip stitch down here, and we're gonna cut this off. Okay, but now I need something to secure. Okay, I'm going to have a lot to sew in. Okay, not a whole lot, but just a little. Okay, so I've got this right here like that. I've got a little chain right here. And so I was trying to avoid as much sewing in as I could. Now, actually, what I'm seeing right here is I could have made my my head, my paper bead here, a little bit larger than what I did. I didn't. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I want to make, well, let's just use the magic loop. Magic loop will work. And I will do, I'm going to do 6 single crochet through the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, that's perfect. I got 6 there. We'll pull it shut. And then now I'm going to work a slip stitch, and I'm going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That keeps jumping off the hook. So I'm making a hat is what I'm making. I want to have 6 or 7 loops. Let's see how many I end up with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then slip stitch just like that. Let's set you down there. And I don't think I like that very well. What I'm going to do instead is a smaller puff stitch. I'm going to make a smaller one. 1. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we're going to slip stitch into here. Oh, let's slip stitch in the next stitch and see what we come up with. Okay, 1, 2, 3. How many did I do? No, I don't remember. 1, 2, and 3. I think something like that. 1, 2, 3. Slip stitch in the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch in the next stitch. I did want to end up with more than 4 though, but if we end up with only 4, 1, 2, 3, I know I could have ended up with more than 4, but I've 2, 3. I can put 5 in here. You crochet and knit looms. Alyssa Lester. Alyssa Lester, she crochets and knits looms. 1, 2, 3. That looks long enough. I'm not going to add another stitch to it. Okay, now I'm going to fit one more in here because I know I can fit it in there. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do 1, 2. That's the great thing about crochet. It's very forgiving, and you can just add things in where you didn't get them to fit because it's not going to make any difference. It's kind of like the planet Earth. I always think of crochet as like the planet Earth because calendar days are man-made. I mean, the Earth is not on anyone's time clock, if you think about it. And so from the day that we're born, because we have leap years and things like that, our birthdays move. Now, I can't be the only one who's thought about that, but maybe I am. I don't know. Now I'm going to cut this off. I need to leave enough in here because I'm going to sew this in upon completion, but I want to see how it looks first. Maybe I shouldn't have cut it off yet, but I did. I'm pretty sure it's going to work though. That's why I cut it off. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I want. That's exactly what I want. Now if I need a longer chain, I can actually hitch a longer chain in there. You see how that looks? Pretty cool, isn't that? That's kind of a fun little thing to make here. I could have gotten away with 5, but I decided to do 4 instead. So we made a block of 4, a little lacy block of 4. Okay, so I want to just sew in this part over here first. That's what I'm going to sew in first, is that little part. Okay, let me find my hook here, my needle, my tapestry needle here. So I was saving this. Now the shirt yarn is nice, and that's what I'm using, but it's very expensive though. And I know a lot of people were rolling it up at one time. And they were, I think they were cutting up old t-shirts and then selling it, which to me seems kind of, I mean, I don't know how other people feel about using something that's used and then you sell it at a new price and use it for something that should be new. But if you're doing that with old t-shirts, I mean, that might not be a very good practice, I'm kind of thinking. You know, I don't know. I mean, so I've just seen all kinds of things done that I personally, I think are not good practices. I mean, I've had people complain about, oh my goodness, people who smoke and make crochet items, and then they say that they don't want any of that related to people who smoke, and buying an Afghan from someone who makes a stinky, smoky smelling Afghan, you know. and so it's a I mean, it's a really, you know, teaching is one thing, you know, teaching is one thing, but selling, you know, people who sell, it's a dead end. It is a huge dead end, you know, so it's just not, I mean, a lot of people use the selling thing. Now the PDFs is another dead end because that just ventures into a huge bad practice in my mind to money laundering. You know, so it's like, well, these people are getting paid somehow using the PDFs. They're selling digital things, you know, so someone is sitting here, and they've told me this in the past, they're sitting here and they're writing down the instructions that I just used on camera, and then they put them in a PDF document, and then they want to sell it. Now, it's not even something they created their own self. They're just writing it down. Then they sell it in a PDF document to people. They're not sending them anything that's tangible. That's what the PDF community is doing. So they're selling things that they didn't even make, that they had nothing to do with, and they're hoping that it works. They have no idea how to crochet or knit or anything or write patterns. They have no idea how to do it. They just want to put it into a PDF document, sell it to people, and then not give them their money back when they find out that the pattern doesn't work. And so they're not even sending them a real book or anything. They just are sending them something, and then they're making money doing it somehow. On those other websites. I think it's just such a bad practice, my own self, selling non-tangible things that you didn't have anything to do with your own self to begin with anyway. I mean, it ventures into a legal realm, related to legalities of, well, it's the same thing that those other websites are doing, when they have concerts on YouTube. They claim they have concerts on YouTube, and then they're selling the non-fungible tokens, which is the same thing as non-tangible items. To me, it just ventures into money laundering. That's what I see. It ventures into money laundering. I don't know what else you'd call it. And then the rest of us can't even earn any revenue, because we just get completely pushed out of anything because someone is taking loans out from banks and they can't afford to pay. They can't afford to come through with what they promised, so it has me actually questioning if someone has loaned out cryptocurrency. So with the crypto bitcoins and things like that, if they loaned that money out and now they're trying to make it back and they can't because they're not making any money doing it. But you have Adpocalypse and the entity who did that to thank for that reason. I mean, they're the ones who did it their own self by wanting to trash what was going on the internet. To me, it seems like not a conspiracy. It seems like someone conspired against the internet. They bet against the internet for their own self-preservation, and they created a bigger problem for their own self. That's what I'm kind of seeing a little bit. I mean, I could be wrong about it, but I'm just speculating, but we all know that Adpocalypse was a fact. It really did happen. And people got harmed from that. A lot of content creators literally got harmed because of Adpocalypse and lost revenue. And, it seems like that entity didn't care one bit about who they were hurting in the process. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is sew this, and I'm sure there's book authors. It's my understanding that book authors also will watch stuff like this, and then they want to take the patterns and sell it even in books. That's probably why with the magazines and books and things like that, there's mistakes in it because the book authors don't know how to crochet. They just don't. And so they want to take the patterns and say that they did it themselves and then create a catalog of books. And then they come back on YouTube and say, oh, well, you stole my pattern. And it's like, well, wait a minute. The pattern I was doing was way before you were even born. I mean, that's just how conniving and snibbling they are. The people that are doing it, instead of just letting things flow along like they're supposed to and letting the rest of us have something where we can have a chance to even do something, so yeah, that's why there's a lot of things I just don't give a shit about anymore. It's like, you know, it's just like, go fuck yourself. Uh, that's how I feel about it, you know? If you care that little about me and my livelihood and what I was doing, go fuck yourself. You do it by yourself. I don't want anything to do with you because you're telling a bunch of fucking lies. That's what y'all are doing. I don't want anything to do with you. And you know what else, too? With the gig economy, you don't get unemployment. You don't get unemployment. And you know what else? You don't have any medical. So those of you who whined and cried about, oh, you're not giving us any attention. Okay, you guys do it by yourself. Because you know what else you're not getting? You're not getting no medical. You're not getting no medical care. Because I don't give a shit who loses their medical care right now because I don't have any. I don't have any medical care and I'm an American citizen and I don't give a shit about the migrants. They need to go fucking back to their own country. I am so sick of the migrants. So they're taking medical care from someone like me who needs it. But yet instead migrants are getting medical care. I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me, why migrants are getting medical. What did I do here? I screwed up a little bit, it looks like. How did I do this? I screwed up. Uh-oh. What did I do here? Okay. Well, did I have a loop come loose? I must have. I must have missed that loop when I put it through there. So I'm going to have to deal with that now. I'm going to have to sew that in. Yeah, it's one of those things that happens from time to time. You know, so I don't give a shit. I never did give a shit about the migrants because it's like they're breaking the law and they should have, you know, this stuff shouldn't have been carried on as long as it has been, but it has been for some reason and I don't know why. It just tells me that there's people in this country who care more about someone else outside of the United States than they actually care about their own parents in the United States who are legal citizens. I mean, why is that? That's what I wonder. Why is that someone cares more about illegals than they do residents who live inside of the United States? You know. So, you know, I hate Obamacare. I hate the whole premise of the Obama presidency and everything that it stood for because the only thing that happened out of that was he got a celebrity woman to influence for him to become president. You know, that's foreign influencing right there in the United States. That woman who lobbied for him to become president, that's foreign influence by using an actress. An actress is a foreigner to politics because they go by fake names and they change names all the time. So I might have to use a larger one here. Let's see if this one works to sew it in. So they use fake names and they change actors and actresses and body styles all the time. I don't know if you guys notice that and pay any attention to it or not. But they do. They have different people and then they can use different actor body styles too. So, you know, that's foreign influence. When you ask me, if you're using a celebrity who's a fake name, that's foreign influence right from inside of the United States of America right there. And so what came out of that? Nothing but inflation. Inflation came out of that and higher prices for medical care and the needs of the American public not being taken care of because you know what? It was forced through by one party. That's what happened. It was forced through by one party. And if you guys wonder why prices are getting higher, ask the Democrats. You know, it's like, I know we're not supposed to be, I don't know, we get chastised so much that about our opinion, you know, we're not even sure. I know I'm not even sure how to say anything anymore because people are such assholes to us on the internet and oh, you guys are trolls, you're not real, you like this stuff, you like doing it. It's like, no, we don't. Fuck you, go fuck yourself. Legacy media, go fuck yourself, because you're working as a fucking network. You're paid by the banks. You're going into debt because the banks are giving you money. And it's like, if those of us can't make it on YouTube, guess what? Legacy media is not going to make it on YouTube either, because the rest of us are going to see that you don't make it on YouTube because we're not getting paid. If we're not getting paid, why the fuck should you get paid? That's what I like. That's what I have to say. If we're not getting paid, legacy media is not going to get paid either. This is not going to work. There's a lot of people out of legacy media, they're studio hands, the people that are making their fake accounts on YouTube. They're making fake accounts, and then fake accounts that favor celebrities and book authors and things like that. And they just make a whole bunch of them, and they just flood up. Oh, they're hiring the migrants outside of the United States to actually make the accounts, is what they're doing. And, that doesn't help those of us who are YouTubers. I'm not interested in doing that. And it's like, that's why I'm entirely not too committed to this channel either. I've already lost YouTube channels before, deleted them myself. And, I deleted a channel that had like 225 million views. So, it's like, I don't even have 1 million on this one, so why would I care if I delete another channel? I really don't. Hello, Jenny. You're back, Jenny. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you guys want to talk about that dumb faggot shit fuck? I don't want to hear about him any more than you guys want to hear about Trump. So, your legacy media shit is over. Your charade is over. I don't want to hear about that shit. I don't want to hear about the stupid celebrities. I think they're dumb as a sack of rocks. I don't want to hear about any of them. I'm tired of them. They don't do anything for us. Why do I want to hear about celebrities all the time? I really don't. They're the ones who are not gonna. The only reason a celebrity or a fake news jockey, shock jockey, might want interest in you is if you've done something that would be of interest to them that might hurt their business model of some sort or another. If you've done something that would make them money, that's the only reason. Thank you, Topher Bolkar. That's the only reason that legacy media people want anything to do with you. And I'm talking about the ones that are on TV, that's the NPR radio station people and stuff like that. The only reason that they want people on their programs is so that they have something to talk about. And so this was something I learned early on YouTube, being a YouTuber, is they said, oh, well, we have to have someone, if there's something in the news that we can talk about, related to Congress, then they will talk to a YouTuber. So they want the YouTuber to be on the opposing side, which typically is, okay, if legacy media can make theirself look good and they want to send the YouTuber to fucking prison, just like the military, sending them to prison, then legacy media will actually interview you. Well, it's like, well, why the fuck should Disney look good all the time? A bunch of junky drug heads anyway, as far as I'm concerned. And shock people. How come Howard Stern has never been in prison? He looks like a fucking druggy junkie. Just like Alex Jones or whatever, send all of them to prison, I mean, you see what happens? This is the direction that media goes with their stupid, what is it called? Their tabloid shit. So that's why the clown car is continuing on. It's more of a clown car. It's not even a real protest. It's more of a parade, and a clown car shit show is what it is. And the same thing with Fox News. I mean, those people look like a bunch of pedophiles and perverts on Fox News. They're not using real names. They said they're all entertainment. They're not using real names. So they're all fake media. When they say they're not using real names, that's the same thing with CEOs who are on Wall Street. They're not using real names because they have to separate themselves from their private business. So they have they have a business account, and then they have a, what else? They have a business account, and then they have their private business account. And that's what Elizabeth Warren talked about when she explained it. For me, it made sense. It's like, oh my gosh, she made complete sense of everything. And so she said that Donald Trump had a business account, and she said he had a private account. Now, but he also has a charity accounts that are under different names. I don't know if people are trying to attach Charlie Kirk to that somehow. I'm just not sure yet. But Turning Point somehow is, it is a government contracting company, that's for sure. Turning Point, they said, is a government contracting company right now. And so I'm unclear on how that happened. But their Turning Point is doing some protesting. I don't know if it's for or against religion. I'm just not sure. I did listen to a lot of Charlie Kirk stuff, and he sounded pretty peaceful to me, what he was saying. The things I heard was him saying that he was a debater more than anything. He was debating things. And so I didn't hear anything violent at all. It sounded to me like he was saying that he was a debate trainer of some sort. So that he trained people in how to debate. And, and so, and so this is the direction, you guys are annihilating the messengers. And I always said that. That's the whole reason that Jesus was the messenger. Look what happened to him at the age of 33. Look what happened to Jesus. Well, hello, CT, you came back. Look what happened to Jesus at the age of 33. What did the Christians and the Jews do to Jesus? You guys know what they did to him. And I'm not saying that, I'm not going to compare Charlie Kirk to Jesus in any way whatsoever. I wouldn't want to do that, because I don't believe that his legacy would, I'm not part of the organization, so I don't want to speak for his widow in any way whatsoever. I have empathy for people who have lost a loved one, because all of us have lost a loved one. I feel bad for her because of the fact that over time, the organization is probably not going to be ran in the same way that he was doing it, and she may not be as comfortable being out in the spotlight as what he was, because of the fact of all this stuff going on. I mean, so unless it's, I mean, my brain still just goes down the money laundering path of some things, and and it's just me. I just allege things. It's alleged. It's not any proof of anything that I have, but the way Elizabeth Warren described it, she came straight out, and she's still in Congress. She's still speaking her mind. Elizabeth Warren is. And that's what my ex-husband, he always said. He said, yeah, but he says, well, when you have someone like Elizabeth Warren, she's never going to be president ever, because the money people are just going to go after her, because when people speak out against what the money people are doing, then that's when they end up, he said specifically things that I can't really say on YouTube right now. Well, they end up taking them out permanently. That's a permanent censorship. And that's what my ex-husband was doing to me with his physical violence towards me in the house. So, so for me, I had to eliminate my first YouTube channel because of him, and other reasons of harassment and doxing that was taking place, for my own sanity. And, it became kind of a sore reminder of, it's like, I didn't realize media was this nasty, but apparently it is. Media, they've taken it down. It was this nasty and supposed to be this nasty. And so I don't know what the future of media is, because when money's involved and we have inflation, and then we have people who don't want to talk about real issues that are hurting people, such as inflation. And inflation is simply just prices rising higher. That's what inflation is, prices rising higher, but nobody wants to talk about that. Well, where are people supposed to live? Because then you end up with a bunch of homeless people. You have homeless military veterans. You have people who don't want to help a cause of the, what is it called? The invisible people. That's a good choice of words. YouTube has a channel called The Invisible People. And I understand what that is. That's people who don't have a voice. And that's what we have, about millions of people in the United States who don't have a voice. So anyway, this is what I've done. We've kind of got 2 flowers on here. And so, you know, that's what we got right here. This little guy. Turned out better than I thought it was going to. I like that. You know, so we are supposed to be able to express our feelings and emotions. And I know people have kind of bullied people on the internet and said, oh, well, they make fun of us and say, oh, they're expressing their feelings and emotions, you know, like we're not supposed to have any, you know, like we're not supposed to have any feelings and emotions. So these legacy media shock people are treating us like we're not real people. That's is treating us like we're not real people on the internet. You know, I mean, I've always known that radio shock jocks were real people because I went into radio stations and I seen them and talked to them. In fact, there was a guy I went to high school with who his whole career was, he was at the same radio station. He graduated from high school. Hello, John Turk. He graduated from high school and he was actually, he was at the he did media when he was in high school. And I'd done a little bit of photography my own self, but it was kind of interesting because he kept coming up, this guy kept coming up on Facebook when I was on Facebook. And so I connected with him and he was telling me, well, by the time I started YouTube, he'd already been in media for 30 years. And he says, well, now if you're going to do advertising, he says, you've got to do it more than 4 months. That's what he's saying. He says, you've got to advertise for more than 4 months. Now, back then, I didn't think about it. I didn't think about the path of what he was talking about. Well, he's legacy media, and that's how he made his salary, was just running a playlist for a radio station. He made his money specifically from advertisers, from advertising dollars, and playing music on the radio. Well, eventually, I think it was maybe 12 years later or so, on Facebook, before Facebook canceled me from Facebook, he wrote on Facebook and he said, we have a media monopoly. That's what he said. He wrote on there himself. Hello, John Turk. He always calls me a white goddess. I hope it's a white guy actually saying that. I really do. I hope it's a white guy saying that. I mean, because he was saying that on my original YouTube channel too. And I think there's some people, very few, who know. I think they might know, like, who I am. Maybe, I don't know. But they're under a non-disclosure agreement to not tell. That's what I'm thinking. You know, so they do honor their oath, or not. I'm not going to call it an oath. They do honor their jobs or whatever it is that they do. Oh, you are a white guy? Okay. I can accept that. You can call me a white goddess all you want to. I'm with you on that because I am a white goddess. And now I made a little flower yellow goddess here that has a white face. We're going to have fun with this little guy with the photo to video. Um, uh, and I think some of you might share the pissed off nature. Right? Yeah. So like, are you one of the Johns that is like an American citizen, or are you a foreign one who's paid and incentivized from one of the islands to write on YouTube? I'm just curious. Are you an American citizen, John, or are you a John who just picked the name up because somebody from one of the networks taught you guys that subscribing to YouTube channels is, well, now you're thinking that subscribing to YouTube channels is a real job. But you know, if you went into an unemployment place in the United States and said your job is subscribing to YouTube channels, they would look at you like you're crazy. Oh, you're British. I can accept British. Um, I can accept British. I mean, are we talking about literally you're literally British? Yeah, I'm with the Brits as far as that goes. You know, it's like I'm not fond of the king and queen thing, with the exception of tourism. I'm fine with it for tourism and what they do, because I think the Brits are actually lovely people. I think everybody from Europe is lovely people. Um, for the most part, you know, once they got over, once the Germans got rid of Hitler, I think things kind of started going uphill a little bit better. Um, but you know what? You know what I had? The something I had to think about though too is that, you know, what Hitler was doing had to have affected the British in some way. I mean, it has me thinking, is that the reason that the British started coming towards the United States was because of Hitler? So, okay, well, you live in the eastern point of England. You live in the most eastern point of England. Okay, let me see where that is. I'm going to look over here on the maps and see if I can. Well, it would be nice if I went to maps and not email. Okay, I said maps. Okay, and England. ENGLAND. You know what I was just thinking is that I remember we had in England furniture. Oh, so you're over towards London, or you're near Canterbury? Yeah, Canterbury. Do I have that right? It's called Lowestoft. Okay, Lowestoft. Let's look over here. Lowestoft. Where is Lowestoft? I like to look sometimes first and see if I can just see it or find it before I search. Okay, let me write in here England. Lowstoft, Lowestoft, England, UK. Okay, Lowestoft. How far away? Oh my goodness. Okay, so you're up further northeast of London. Okay. I bet it's, oh my gosh, I bet it's beautiful up there. It looks like it would be beautiful. Do you ever get hurricanes or coastal storms or anything like that? Up there in that area? And you're right across from, oh my gosh, you're right across from the Netherlands. Netherlands. Okay, you're not as far north as Norway, but you are way, way north up there, though. Do you guys get as much snow as what you used to get? I'm just curious about that, if you get as much. Oh, you get a lot of floods. Why do you get a lot of floods? Do you know? Or is it because of the ocean? Is your coastline? Are you guys like on a slide of some sort into the ocean where your island is sinking lower into the ocean? Because I mean, I suspect that the earth is doing what the earth does, and that if you get a lot of flooding, because I know on coastal United States it's kind of the same thing, and I think it's the natural process of the earth that it's subducting naturally and the cliffs are breaking, kind of like when we see the cliffs breaking on coastlines, which you might see that, you know, like in California here. I don't know if you pay any attention to that or not, but in California, we pay attention and see a lot of cliffs breaking off into the ocean. And so then that's the ocean and the cliff lines. So it's almost like the dirt part of the earth kind of takes on a formation similar to that of the glaciers and ice breaking. And so it just becomes more of a solid rock mass of sorts, similar to the ice when it's solid. And then the earth just keeps doing the same thing. So you don't have a high wall blocking from the water to land. Oh, you don't have a seawall. Okay, you don't have a seawall there. Okay. I know in Daytona Beach here in the United States, they have a seawall, but it's almost like most of the coastal area is gone. That's on the beach part. You know, they keep dredging and putting sand and stuff back in there. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I see that. I do have a street view that I can look at there in Lowestoft, England. I wasn't sure if England allowed street view, but they do. It kind of looks just, you know, it's interesting because it kind of looks just like any place here in the United States. It really does, except that in England, you guys drive on a different side of the road. And I know that I was always kind of afraid to go to England for driving on the opposite side of the road. Because I was sort of afraid of just being, you know, going naturally to the other side of the road, which I'm used to driving on here. I wish every country just rode on the same side of the road, or I wish we could agree on that, and every country around the world would just drive on the same side of the road, so it makes it easier for the car manufacturers and you know, like that, you know, because I know you guys have to have special cars made then for driving on the other side of the road. And I know there's people, I know here in the United States, though, the post office people have, well, they've had little electric trucks, and they've driven with the driver's side, either in the middle or on the right side of the road, because here, you know, I never understood the United States in some senses, because so to deliver the mail to houses, so for a left-handed vehicle, they would have to drive their vehicle on the wrong side of the road to deliver the mail out of the driver's side, but then they'd be driving on the wrong side of the road. Well, for the driver to do it by himself, then he drives his little car from either the left side, but then it's the passenger side where he'd have to put the mail into the box, and then it, you know, so it becomes kind of a, well, yeah, technically I think they're driving their little car on the right, I think they drive it from the center, though. They have a center wheel in their car. We also have lots of thunderstorms because we have really bad storm last week, and lightning struck. Oh no, it struck your neighbor's house? Oh my goodness. What happened to your neighbor's house? I mean, I hope that your neighbor was okay. Let's see, they got Gordon Road there. Gordon Road, B&M store, Ryman Stationery, Cecil, Amy Opticians, Hearing Care, Lowestoft, book your eye appointment for a test appointment. Denmark Road, Suffolk Road, A47, Bon March, Grove Road, Beach. Oh, you got traffic circles, Gordon Road, Roundabout. you know, we have a lot, the United States is having a love affair with traffic circles right now. It got burned down, but nobody got hurt. Well, that's good that no one got hurt. Um, Hearing Fishery Score Road, Worsley Plumbing and Parts, Carpet and Furniture, Lowestoft Depot, First Bus, East England, Brewers Decorators Centers, New Albany Wood Care Range. So, um, let's see if they have. Oh, they've got Domino's Pizza in Lowestoft, England. That would be one heck of a call if someone ordered a pizza at Domino's Pizza in Lowestoft and asked for it to be delivered to the United States. That would be a terrible, terrible, terrible joke. Oh gosh, but you know that's one of they have what is that? A Waveney laundrette and dry cleaning. But you know, I worked at a pizza place for I think it was for 24 hours. But we were always hearing from the other kids who worked at the pizza places, and they said that people would call in, order pizzas, and then not come and pick them up. And I think that's why the credit card companies or not credit card, why the pizza places started asking for people to pay for the pizza before they order, because I think they were thinking they were getting crank calls. And so, but the thing that was nice about it was they would save the pizzas, and at the end of the night, we got to take the pizzas home for free because there was always so many that were people calling in and then abandoning the pizza orders. You know, it's like, you know, but they let us take them home for free then. You know, they would tell us, so, but if there wasn't a pizza that was abandoned order, then we could have a pizza free. So every night, the people who worked for the pizza place, they would give us free pizzas, which I thought was kind of fun. And they did. The manager didn't care. He was the one who was telling us we could take the pizzas home. Um, I'm really surprised you guys have Domino's Pizza over there. Oh, you've got Church Road and Boston Road. You've got a Church Road and Boston Road in Lowestoft. And you got a drawbridge. That's sort of cool. You've got drawbridges. I'm always fascinated by all the boats, the great big boats that are in marinas and things like that. Do you guys have a lot of marinas over there in Lowestoft? Because it's like we do in the Yeah, there's a marina right there. It looks like. Let's see if there's a bunch of boats in it. Waveney Dock. It's called Waveney Dock. It looks like it's some type of Access Community Trust. Seatram Offshore Renewable Services. It just looks like any old port that we have here in the United States too. There's a roundabout there. Hamilton Road, Battery Green Road, Nelson, Gordon, Sports Direct, Police Station Road. Oh, it looks like it. I'm wondering if it's an old military base there that they have or if it says the fort. It must be an old military base if it's not a current one in Great Britain, but I'm just not sure. That's kind of what it looks like, though. You know, with the picture, there's a lot of it looks like there's a lot of dirt right close to the shore, and then it turns kind of green and then blue. You know, so you know how there's a lot of runoff from what is that? Lake Lothing, the third crossing, Lake Lothing, Lothing, which it's actually a runoff from the ocean, but they're calling it a lake. So there is a lake in there. Yes, that's where the marina is. There's a marina in there with a whole lot of boats. And I've never understood who can afford all those boats, you know, because it's like there's always so many boats. And I saw a story yesterday. They were talking about, it was in the United States, and there was some sheriffs that were going around, and they were putting red stickers on boats that had been abandoned. And then right as he's doing that, then there is a boat that's floating past him that's abandoned. And he says, well, we can't do anything about it because it has a blue sticker on it. That means someone licensed the boat. So someone licensed an abandoned boat. And so it's still out there floating around because they took the money and they licensed the abandoned boat and they registered the boat. So the sheriff can't actually put a red sticker on it because they licensed the abandoned vehicles, the abandoned boats. They said boats are not like cars. They said with cars, they can actually go tow them. But they said with boats, they legally can't tow them. So they have to put a red sticker on them. So the sheriff can put a red sticker on the boat, and then they said if someone comes and claims it as their own and they pay for the licensing of the boat and they put a blue sticker on it, then the sheriff can't do anything with the boat. They can't tow it someplace and take it away. And so I that whole thing is really strange, related to the boats that they've got going on. But it looks like a beautiful area there. I always thought it would be kind of fun to visit the UK because of the fact that they speak English and I would understand them. But that area there, it looks like it might flood. I'm right here in Long Road is where I'm at. Long Road. Okay, let's see what we're looking at. They have, oh my gosh, they have beautiful houses there. They look, oh my goodness. Now this is something that I would have never imagined. They've got like normal looking houses that we have here in the United States. I know at one time, but they're so close to the water though, it has me wondering if it's going to flood there in that area. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, there's a potential there, but the houses are really, really close together. There's not much for, oh, they do have some big backyards. Some of them do. Kind of reminds me of Germany, you know, they've got everything all squashed up together. But then in the front yard, there's cars just parked in the front yard. Let's go down here on Street View on this one and take a look. It had cars parked in the front yard. Yeah, the front yard is just cement, and there's a lot of weeds. You know, that's the nice thing about the United Kingdom, though, is that it don't look like they have all these home associations and everything. You know, they have people parking in the front yard, and so. Alrighty, well, I think I'm done for right now. If I think of something else to make or draw, I'm sure I'll be doing it. And so I want to take a little picture of this guy and put it on I'm going to do a photo to video with this little guy and see what we come up with. I think it'll be fun. You know, so, and the bead, just a paper bead. That's all I used because I didn't have a plastic bead. So I just made a homemade paper bead instead. That's what I did. And it's hard. It's pretty hard. You know, so I'm hoping that it lasts for a little while, as long as it's not in too humid of a place or it gets too wet. Even if it does get a little bit wet, it'll probably stay. If it starts coming apart, just slather on some more glue or wrap around another link of, let's look there. You see how it's a paper bead that I used? I just made a homemade paper bead. Alrighty. So that's it. We'll see you guys in another time, and hopefully I won't be so grumpy